Hi, everybody. I hope everybody is enjoying their day. Today, we are going to make weeknight sloppy joes. It's something very easy, very weeknight friendly, and very, very simple to make. So, before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know that we do have new merch coming for the website AletheaKitchenCorner.com, and it's going to be a black fleece jacket with the logo on it. And as soon as we get started and we get our sloppy joes on, I will show you guys what they look like. If you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, and that way you'll know when I upload new videos and you'll be one of the first people to see it. We do have all the merch in stock at Alethea Kitchen Corner. We do have t-shirts, we have black and white. There's also baseball caps in black and white. And of course, they are all unisex. We also have some kitchen aprons that is available for sale. So if you are interested in getting any of those things, go right on over to AletheaKitchenCorner.com. So before we get started, let me just wash my hands. Okay, so hands are all clean. Let's get started. So we have here for our weeknight sloppy joes, we have some fresh ground beef. This is about 1.5 pounds of chuck for about 4 people. If you have a larger family, then I would just do about 3 pounds, and that should be enough for 4 to 6 people to make enough sloppy joe sandwiches. So tonight we're gonna do sloppy joes with broccoli and cheese on the side. But if your family didn't like broccoli and cheese, you can do something like you can do broccoli, but you can leave the cheese out. Or you can do something different. If your family is not fond of broccoli, you can do asparagus. If they didn't like asparagus, you could also do green beans. So really just cater it to what you and your family prefer. So this is just what we like. So this is what I'm gonna make for our dinner. So to get started, let's put our fire on so that we could brown our ground beef. And I'm using my Teflon skillet here. I'm going to put the link in a description so that if you should want to buy one to cook food at home, this is a great skillet. This is sold at Amazon. It's a heavy bottom non-stick deep skillet. So I'll leave the link in the description for you guys in case you want it. This is a great pot. I use it all the time, and the heat is really, really good. So I do recommend it. So let's put our fire on. I'm gonna say let's put it on a medium heat. So I think we're good there. So we're going to get our ground beef in our pan over there, and we're going to brown it for our weeknight sloppy joes. So let it get a little heat, before we put our chopped meat in there. In the meantime, I'm going to chop a little garlic here. I've got 2 nice size garlic cloves that I'm going to chop. And I just whack it so that I could take the paper off. Sometimes people peel it. I don't got time for all that. I just whack it and then the paper comes right off. So again, I just whack it. And you smash it and then the paper comes off very easily. So that's how I get it off of the garlic. So I think our pan is ready. Let's get our meat in pan. So I just break it up and just put it in the pan. Oh, I can smell that garlic already. It smells good. So just break up your ground meat and get it in the pan so that the meat can brown. And I'm just going to wash my hands. Anytime you are touching raw meat, wash your hands. Okay, so my hands are all clean. We have our ground meat into our pan. So we're going to chop a few things for our weeknight sloppy joes. So we have here our garlic. Let's chop our garlic first. And not too big. So I'd say for 1.5 pounds of ground meat, you want about 1 large garlic clove. So our garlic is chopped here. We have our garlic chopped. It's not too big and it's not too small. We're going to add it right into our ground beef. You also have chopped onion. So we got about 1/2 onion here. We're going to add that into our sloppy joe mix, or our ground beef as well. And again, not too big, not too small. I'm going to show you the size in 1 minute. Great time saver, guys, is to put all your garbage in one pile and then you can just throw it out at the end. So we have our onion here that we're going to just cut. Let me show you guys. I'm cutting my onion so you can see what I'm doing here. You don't want to cut it too big and not too small. Just medium size is good. So we have our chopped onions here that we're chopping. I'm going to show you in 1 second. The ground beef and the garlic smells so good already. You guys make Sloppy Joes during the week. It's a great weeknight dinner idea because it doesn't take a lot of time. And a lot of people like Sloppy Joes. It's easy. Very, very simple. Okay, so we have our onions here. And I'm going to show you the size that we're looking for. So we have our onions. Make sure you remove the paper from your onions. So this is about the size that you're looking for. Not too big and not too small. Just medium-sized dice on that. So this is, again, a half of an onion. So we're going to put that in. And we're adding it to our ground beef with the garlic as well. So we're going to give that a stir. Oh, it smells really good, y'all. It smells so good. Okay, so then to that, we're going to add some spices. We have our spices that we need to add. So we have some Italian seasoning, about a quarter of I'd say about a tablespoon of that. We have some Lowry's, about a tablespoon of that as well. We got some everyday seasoning. And I'm going to be giving you guys my recipe to my everyday seasoning pretty soon. And then we have some onion powder. I've got to get some more onion powder. And this is about half of a teaspoon of the onion powder. And remember, we added the fresh garlic, and then we're going to add some black pepper. I'll be right there. So we're going to add some black pepper. About a teaspoon of black pepper. Give it a stir. All right, y'all. So our ground beef for our weeknight sloppy joes are cooking. We added our onions. We've added some chopped garlic. and we've added some spices. This is going to cook for about 15 minutes. And then once it's cooked, I'm going to drain off the liquid, the fat. So once we come back, then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, so we are back, and tonight we're making weeknight sloppy joes for dinner, and we're going to do some broccoli and cheese as well. So let's recap. So we took our ground beef and we chopped some onions and garlic, and we put some spices in it, and then we browned our garlic we browned our ground beef. And now we have drained it, and this is what it looks like. So let's add the rest of our ingredients to it. Let's see here, we have some chopped green peppers and onions. That's going to go into the pan. Let's stir that in. Oh my God, it's so pretty with the green peppers and onions. And then we're going to add 1 tomato bouillon cube. Just crumble it in. And this gives your meat such good flavor. You only need 1. You don't need a lot. So it gives it a really good flavor. So just stir that in. And then we're going to add about a half a cup of tomato sauce. And you just want to stir that in. Start with half a cup because you don't want to put too much of the tomato sauce in. I always start with half a cup and see how it looks. And then if I feel like it needs more, I'll add more. But if you put too much in, then you can't remove it. So I always start with half of a cup. And this is looking really good so far. So far, so good. Let me show y'all what it looks like. It looks really good so far. Look at that. It's looking really good. I think we're going to add a little bit more so that it's a little bit more saucy. So I would say in total, you're probably going to need about 3/4 of a cup of tomato sauce for the sloppy joes. So we're going to add 2 last ingredients, and then we're going to lower our fire, and then we're going to let this cook for another 10 minutes. So our last 2 things we're going to add is a little bit of sugar. Just a little bit of sugar, and I add sugar substitute. So I would say about a tablespoon. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. 1 minute. I'll be right there, y'all. So 1 teaspoon of the Worcestershire sauce. So you want to stir that in. And then we're going to add just a little bit of water and let this cook down. Oh man, it smells delicious. I would say about 3 teaspoons of water. And then you want to let this simmer for about 10 minutes. Lower your heat to low. And then you want to let this simmer. Okay. So we're going to let that cook for about 10 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make our broccoli and cheese while that's cooking for 10 minutes. So we're going to put that over here on this side, and then we're going to do our broccoli. So we have our broccoli here. We have our florets that we're going to make. So we just have about 1.5 pounds for 4 people. And then we're going to just add it to about 3 cups of water, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. So you want to just drop your broccoli in. Okay, so our broccoli is going to boil for about 10 minutes while our sloppy joes cook for 10 minutes as well. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how we finish the broccoli and how our dinner comes together. So I'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back with our sloppy joe dinner. So our sloppy joes have been cooking and they are done. They've been cooking for 10 minutes and they are done. Let me show you what it looks like. They look delicious. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? That cooked up very nicely. So we're gonna finish the rest of our dinner. The sloppy joes are done. And as I said before, we're gonna make broccoli and cheese to go with our sloppy joes. So we have the pot that we've cooked our broccoli in. We've drained the water. The broccoli is done steaming. And we've drained off the water. So we're going to do the rest. And we're going to add some butter to our pot. Let's get a little butter. Going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter to our pot. And then we're going to let that mix in. Let that mix in a little bit. You want to put your pot on low for this part. So we're going to put our butter in. we are going to add some garlic. We're going to chop some garlic up and put that in. I'm going to chop 1 clove of garlic. Not too big, not too small. So we have some chopped garlic that's going into our butter for our cheese sauce for our broccoli. And this garlic is going to give the sauce for the cheese such an amazing flavor for your broccoli. Okay, so we have our chopped broccoli here that we just chopped up. Put it right into the butter. Just give it a stir just for a minute until you smell the garlic. You don't want it to brown here. Just you want to smell it as you are stirring it. Once you smell it, then you want to add a little bit of buttermilk. About 1/4 cup of buttermilk. And let that cook for a minute. To that, you want to add some pepper and some salt. About 1 tablespoon of pepper and about 1 tablespoon of salt. I have kosher salt here. So about 1 tablespoon of that. Give it a stir. And then we're going to add our cheese. I have here some Gouda cheese. So that's what we're going to add to our pot. And you want to just chop it. Or if it's easier, you can shred it. Whichever is easier for you, just chop it up. And just add it to your pot so it can melt. And we're going to just give our cheese sauce a stir. Our cheese sauce a stir. Just let it cook. Doesn't look pretty right now, but it will. Hot. So just give it a stir. And let the cheese melt. If you don't have Gouda, you can use cheddar. If you don't have cheddar, you can use Monterey Jack. Why can't I talk tonight? Monterey Jack. Whatever kind of cheese you have in the house, just use that. So just melt your cheese. We're going to turn it up a little bit. Not too high because you don't want this sauce to burn. So melt your cheese into your sauce. Just give it a stir. As it cooks, your cheese will melt in the sauce here, and the sauce will become a little thicker. So we're just going to stir it in for a good 5 minutes until our cheese continues to melt. A little bit more. A little bit more. It's almost there. Okay, so our cheese sauce has melted. We're going to add our broccoli into it. I want to show you what it looks like before I add the broccoli. You see the cheese sauce, guys, what it looks like? We're going to now add our broccoli to it and then give it a stir. So we have our broccoli that we cooked for about 12 minutes. It's steamed. We drained off the water, and now we're going to add it to our Gouda cheese sauce. Make sure. You want to make sure all the water is off of this before you add your cheese. So then you want to just stir in your broccoli. And let it cook a little bit. Into the sauce. Let's add just a little bit more milk, buttermilk. So that the cheese sauce can thicken a little bit. Okay, guys, so we're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes, and when we come back, we're going to be ready to eat. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're making a weeknight Sloppy Joe dinner, and our dinner is finished. I'm going to make ourselves a plate here and show you guys how dinner turned out. We have our Sloppy Joe here that we made, and then we have our broccoli and cheese. Doesn't that look delicious? We have our cheese sauce here that we put garlic in. Then we have our broccoli. And then we have our Sloppy Joes that we made. So I've put some cheese sauce on my broccoli. It really depends on how you and your family like the cheese. Do you like the cheese mixed in with the broccoli, or do you like it just poured on there? I've poured a little bit on here, but then I also served it on the side here with extra cheese sauce that you can pour on it yourself. So that turned out really, really good. That's our weeknight Sloppy Joe with our broccoli and cheddar cheese sauce that we made with Gouda cheese. So let's give it a try. Let's see here. Okay, so let's try our broccoli. And I'm going to dip it right into the cheese sauce. I love broccoli and cheese. It is hot though. Mmm, that's so good. I love it that it's crispy and also tender at the same time. And that Gouda sauce is delicious. It's so good. Very good. Mm-mm-mm. So good. Let's try our sloppy joe. Remember the meat, you browned it. We chopped some onions and garlic and put some peppers into it as well. So let's give the meat a try. It's hot. Mm, so good. Oh my God. So flavorful. You taste the Worcestershire and that tomato bouillon gives everything such good flavor. You guys have to try that recipe. Well, guys, I thank you for spending time with me in the kitchen with Alethea. Again, for any recipes that you want to see me cook, let me know and write me a comment on what you want me to cook. But I hope that you like the recipe that we made tonight. Sloppy Joes, weeknight Sloppy Joes with broccoli and cheese and our Gouda cheese sauce. So again, thank you for spending time with me, and give me a thumbs up. And also, if this is your first time watching my channel, subscribe and hit the like button so that for the next time, you'll know when I'm uploading a new video. Thank you for spending time with me and have a good night.